Good evening, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to see you all tonight and to celebrate Black History Month. Before we start, it is always my honor to acknowledge the land that we are on, Treaty 6, 7, and 8, and the incredible people, our first people, our Indigenous people who walked, played, and worked this land for thousands of years before us. I'm so grateful to share this land with my First Nations brothers and sisters, and also to my Métis brothers and sisters to whom this land holds such a deep importance. Thank you once again for sharing this space with us. We are joined this evening by all of my colleagues in government. In fact, every single MLA and minister is joining us this evening. Thank you so much to all of our colleagues. Her Honor, the Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, Salma Lakhani, and His Honor, Dr. Lakhani, the Honorable Premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney, and the Honorable Minister of Justice and the Solicitor General, Casey Madhu. I remember the incredible excitement and the joy of hosting our Black History Month in the events last year. The energy, the community, and the discussions were just amazing. And of course, at that time, to be able to share some absolutely delicious food. Now, this year has been significantly different, but the energy has not changed at all. And I've just been so honored through this entire month. I've been touched and moved and completely blown away by the amazing people that we've been able to spend time with. And this evening, we're going to be enjoying some wonderful performances, have a great conversation, and celebrate the legacy of Black Albertans, past and present. Minister Madhu, my brother, I'm so honored to be able to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Minister. I hear good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to see you all tonight. As Minister of Justice and Solicitor General for our province, I am very proud to participate in this celebration of Black History Month. We are joined this evening by my colleagues in government, of course, Her Honor, the Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, Salma Lakhani, and His Honor, Dr. Lakhani, and our fantastic Minister of Culture, Multiculturalism and the Status of Women, the Honorable Lila Sharon Aher. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. With that, it is my great honor to introduce Charlize Simpson to perform O Canada. Charlize Simpson is a grade 9 student who attends Holy Cross School located right here in Edmonton, and is part of the French immersion program. She goes to Bethel United Church, began singing in her church at the age of 2, and is now on the sopranos in a group named Chosen Generation. She is an aspiring OBGYN or trauma surgeon, and hopes to also be an advocate for other young Black girls, such as herself, who may not have the voice they need and deserve.
In all of us come
That is unbelievable. What an absolutely beautiful performance. Our first speaker this evening will be my friend, Her Honor, the Honorable Salma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta. Please go ahead, Your Honor.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I am so delighted to join you for this virtual celebration of Black History Month. Like all of you, I'm looking forward to celebrating events like this one in person, which I hope is one day very, very soon. Until then, I would like to thank everyone who works to keep us all connected and learning from one another through virtual events like this one. As someone born in Africa who came to this country some 40 years ago, it is so gratifying for me to see the success of Black History Month. We are, as a province and a country, finally filling in some of the gaping holes in our own rich and diverse history, something to which we should all aspire to be better informed about. Remember, our collective success is thanks to the contributions of all of our different communities that make us the province and the country that we are today. Even in these extraordinary times, we are seeing some promising steps forward on important goals like honoring and promoting Black history in Alberta. Last fall saw the release of John Ware Reclaimed, a fascinating and touching documentary by Alberta's Cheryl Fogel. I watched it last week and I highly recommend it to all those who have yet to see it. Projects like Cheryl's film and every educational program linked to Black History Month are essential to understanding who we are as a province and a country. They are critical because they provide a wealth of much needed detail, context, and perspective. They ensure that everyone can see themselves in the story of who we are, and they also allow us to explore our shared history, good and bad, in an inclusive and honest manner. It is my sincere hope that as we move forward, Black pioneers like John Ware, Violet King, Lionel Jones, Eleanor Collins, Phil Fraser, and so many, many more will continue to receive the recognition and appreciation they so richly deserve. And at this point, I would like to mention that Alberta has been the province of many firsts. And so I must mention Casey Madu, Minister for Justice and Solicitor General, a first not only in Alberta, but also in Canada. And Minister Madu, I'd like to say to you that as someone who comes from the same continent as you, I am so proud of all your achievements. Each and every chapter of Black history has something valuable to teach us. We need only open our hearts and our minds to what they have to say. I would like to offer my heartfelt thanks to everyone who is working to expand on this very important dialogue, and to Black community leaders, workers, and volunteers across Alberta for your valued contributions. Finally, thank you so much to our host for this evening's event, the Honorable Casey Madu and the Honorable Minister Leela Aheer. And Minister Leela Aheer, I also want to thank your team at Alberta Culture, Multiculturalism, and Status of Women for all that you do to foster cultural understanding and appreciation. Thank you all so much. Please stay safe and well, and let us enjoy tonight's event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Your Honors. It is always such a privilege, and you bring so much life and light into all of these events, and I can't wait for the day for us to be able to do this together. Next, we will receive greetings from Premier Kenney.
Thank you for joining us to commemorate Black History Month in Alberta. Thanks to Minister Ahir and all members of the legislature, but most importantly, to community leaders from Alberta's strong, vibrant, and growing Black, Afro-Canadian, Afro-Caribbean communities. Thank you for being a testament to the pioneers, to those who went before, to people like John Ware, to Violet King Henry, Eleanor Collins, my first boss, Phil Fraser, Big Miller, and so many others who paved the way for hundreds of thousands of Albertans of African origin. Thank you to those who continue to break down barriers and to fight for full equality of opportunity and equality before the law in Alberta, this opportunity society. Thank you to my colleague, the Honorable K.C. Madu, the first Black Canadian Attorney General and Solicitor General, for breaking down yet another barrier. And thank you most importantly for sharing the stories of Black Canadians and Black Albertans with today's generation and future generations through all of the many different Black History Month educational initiatives. A society that does not know its past cannot know where it is going. It is so critically important that we remember our past, both the sad and tragic moments, but also the great breakthroughs and moments of achievement. So for all of that, I wish you a great deliberation tonight, and to the entire Black community in Alberta, happy Black History Month.
Thank you so much, Premier Kenney. You know, I just want to offer a special thank you to the Premier of our province for his extraordinary leadership at an extraordinary time. You know, we are dealing with a pandemic, the likes of which we have never seen before in our lifetime. None of us, the Premier, myself, Minister here, asked for this. But I have always said that every generation is always tasked with certain difficulties. And the question has always been for me whether or not that generation is going to live up to that task. And so I do want to thank all Albertans, and indeed the Premier, for his steady leadership at this point in time in our history. I would like to take a moment to talk about the importance of celebrating Black history. Throughout the past month, we have heard incredible stories of Albertans throughout history who persevered, fought racism, and stayed true to their values towards creating a brighter future. I am reminded of someone we all know who has been referenced tonight, John Ware. John Ware's documentary and a panel discussion with descendants of early Black settlers in our province. These stories and histories remind each and every one of us that Black people have strong roots in our province, in Alberta, contributing to build this great province. Just last night, we held a youth panel where we heard from the next generation on their priorities as Black youth in this great province. They talked about the importance of mentorship and having role models to look up to. To those who came before us, I say thank you. And to those generation of leaders who are next, I say to each and every one of them, welcome to our beautiful land. The artists who will be performing tonight represent Alberta at its best. They work in many disciplines, from poetry to dance to music, but they all share a deep connection with their cultural heritage. And even more important, the ability to make audiences feel that connection themselves. I can't imagine anyone not responding to the soulfulness of Nuala Charles and Karimat's voices, or the beauty of Jumoke Verisima's poetry, or the energy of the Sangir drummers, Their artistry speaks for generations of Black men, women, and families who came to Canada from Africa and the Caribbean, and indeed the United States, seeking a place in which to build lives, families, and careers. These great Albertans, their hard work, creativity, business acumen, and love of family have enriched this province and made us a better people. I hope everyone watching tonight's event would not only enjoy these performances, but also use them as an opportunity to reflect on the history of Black Alberta, to celebrate the lives of the Black Albertans who came before us, and to express our gratitude for their many contributions to Alberta life. With that, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our first performance tonight. Jumoke Verissimo. Jumoke has written 2 poetry collections, both of which have been nominated for awards in literature, following her career as a freelance journalist in Nigeria. She is now pursuing a PhD at the University of Alberta. Jumoke, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jumoke Verissimo. I'm really glad to be a part of this year's Government of Alberta's online Black History Month event. And I'll be performing the poem Association. I really hope you enjoy it. I am the memory of asking and not getting, of seeing and not beholden, of brokenness waiting for succor and fantasizing recompense. Times have not changed, pain has. It has grown bolder. My desires have gathered moth. It's a thickened skin, it is a spectator of communal hurting, of sour desires, of mind slivered while forgetting, of many years of trampling and thirsting abundance of water. I know the stories of ancestors, of praying against a dance of ridicule, of fame exchanged for a bath of shame. I am memory of cheap labor and cheap shoulder. Even now, times have not changed. I am the memory of souls who voyage into seas of persecution, seeking liberation in bloodied ties. I am memory of passages leading home to discontent, of passages of dry bones that failed to rise when bitterness crushed their strength. I am the middle passage, reflections of the Atlantic, the mirror of a century's grown. I am memory of death. I know the names of death. This illusion is a name we call death. Anger is a companion that celebrates him. The middle passage is death. Disease, the name that courts her. Ambition, an ally that lures her. War, the mother that bets her. I am a clan's death. I have the memory of death, of passages and passers-by passing trust, miming regrets about parted spores, unreturned and unchecked largesse, and kindness in blindfolds. I am two, that's one in a climb of guilt. I am the guilt of the trader and the traded. I am the trader who sees difference as conquest, the traded who brands humility as servitude. I am the transit. I know what it is. I know what it is not. I know what it is not to be. I am the middle passage, lengthened grievances of legless accusations, of someone's father minding unfatherly businesses, the middle passage, a long search for distancing, distances, and distance. Let those who hide remember those who find. For I am memory of gin bringers, sin bringers. I am a mirror, reflections of guilts and groans. I am a cloth, civilized cover for societal plot, and age-sown pain that stays, that stains. I am the scattered leaves of an oak tree, fertilizing the grounds of strange winds. I am the color of a skin, the essence of a being, bargaining nature for sameness whenever skin measures human intelligence. I am memory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jumoke, for your gift of poetry and for being here in our province. You are a gift. It is now my pleasure to introduce Karima. Karima is a French, English-speaking pop and R&B singer, songwriter with grand prizes at Western Canadian competitions, Polyphonic, Chant Arts, and the Memphis-bound Blues Challenge. Karima reached the top 24 on The Voice Canada seasons 5, aka La Voice, in 2017. Please join me and welcome Karima, please.
That feeling. I love it. Ooh, letting me down, let it down. Sometimes life will let you down. But what you gotta do is keep your hopes high and your head low, and your head low, and your head low. Yeah, I've been let down by life. I've been let down so much, but I don't give up. Hey. I dream that someday life will be fair. Expect too much, drown in despair. Have faith, no proof, no guarantees. My dreams, oh, my dreams. Oh, I've done so much to keep on holding on. Believe, stand tough, bear down and stay strong. Wish I could be pleased by existing. Is anybody listening to me? Oh, to my dreams. Oh, I do my best to stay, but you don't show your face. No, I give you everything. What more do you want from me? I'm scared, so lonely, disappointed, and feeling unprepared. I'm scared, trying to keep my hopes high and my head low while you keep on letting me down. While you keep on letting me down. While you keep on taking to the bridge now. Should I ever dream me? Please show me a reason for being. Show me how to feel good, yeah. Oh, and keep my hopes high, yeah. Every time you letting me down. While you keep on 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 letting me Snap with me, yeah. Oh, letting me down. Oh, yeah. Letting me down. Oh, yeah. No, go. Ooh. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not thinking. No. Oh, no. Why you letting me down? Not just rise higher, go higher, get better. Oh, yeah. Keep on saying, keep on
Wow. Oh my gosh. I hope all of you are clapping as much as I am right now. That was incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much, Karima. Just absolutely blown away by the talent. What a beautiful, beautiful evening we've had so far. Our next guest is a very, very dear friend of mine, and we're going to be joined by Nikita Kalonji. And Nikita is an amazing actress, and she's actually in the African Family series, which is the first ever Afro-Canadian drama series. And I actually met some of the folks that are working with her on this. It's absolutely brilliant. She's also the vice president of communications and marketing on the side outside of all of her acting career for the Association for Change for Management Professionals. Nikita, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me turn the floor over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this platform with such prestige individuals. Like, I'm feeling absolutely blessed. As I mentioned to Minister Ahir and everyone else before we started, I feel as though my well will be replenished, and then I'll be able to carry forth this energy and this positive outpour into my soul for the rest of 2021. Because as we know, 2022 was quite complex, but at least now we kind of know what we're getting ahead of. But I just wanted to share a bit of insight as to what I appreciate about Black History Month. What brings me joy and encouragement is, obviously, I celebrate being Black and a Black woman daily. I'm met with trials and tribulations, but I try to find silver linings and moments of joy to be able to celebrate. But when you have events that take place every single day that not only celebrate the Caribbeans, but the Africans, as well as those that were born in Canada or born in the US, and just acknowledging that we matter, we are important, how can you not be joyful? How can you not be joyful hearing individuals within your network and other networks saying, hey, are you attending the Government of Alberta's event tonight? Oh, did you hear they're doing another event and they're actually addressing this industry. They're looking into this industry. And it's really heartwarming. And that's what gives me joy and encouragement with Black History Month. And especially as a young Black girl, and though I was born in Canada and raised in the Democratic Republic of Congo for a brief moment in my childhood, there weren't many people that I could look up to that look like me. I find myself in my adult years now saying, I wish there was a me for my younger self. But the blessing is that my generation is becoming those mentors and those role models for the younger generation, and that I can find peace and rejoice in. But I would be remiss to not say that my role models were the women in my family, my grandmothers, my mother, my aunts, my great aunts. Yes, I got a few great aunts. I share a birthday with one, actually. So to be amongst these independent, strong Black women who are entrepreneurs, who are doctors, lawyers, accountants, who are able to stand within their power, is where I find myself truly blessed and thankful that though I did not see these said look-alike of me on TV or on the streets, I at least had it in my tribe, in my village that helped raise me. And I have to just say thank you so much to Alberta for just taking the initiative these last few years and being proactive rather than reactive. A lot of provinces and territories had to react to the events in June, but the fact that Alberta was already proactively engaging the Black community prior to George Floyd's occurrence and death, unfortunately, it shows that we are not ones to sit on our heels. And I find that very admirable, especially coming from Ontario myself. I would expect a little more proactiveness out there, but to see Alberta just take it by the horns and be the trailblazers in setting the standard of how we should celebrate not only the Black community during February, but the fact that our ministers and our MLAs are making the efforts to even engage and participate and join, and back before COVID, even attend events that the Black communities were hosting. That's a big deal. And so I just hope that we can continue with this trend. And again, I thank you all for joining us this evening. And again, I thank you so much, Minister Ahir, Minister Madu, your honors, for just having me here. I truly feel blessed and I'm very grateful.
Oh, my beautiful friend, thank you so much for bringing us into your tribe. And we are looking up to you. You are everything that these young people need to see. And thank you for sharing with us silver linings and your joy. It is the reason we get up every single day. So thank you so much. I would now like to welcome the Sangay Academy. So the Sangay Academy blends West African traditions of music, dance, and poetry and theater into this really incredible modern experience for audiences nowadays. So the name Sangay means female leader and is a common name used for young girls in Liberia. Thank you, Sangay.
Thank you so much to the Sangay Drumming Academy for that great performance. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first community speaker tonight, Professor Andy Knight. Dr. Knight is a professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Alberta. He has taught courses on international relations and war and peace at Bishop's University in Quebec. He has a broad background of studying political violence, children, and war, xenorexism, and countering homegrown terrorism. I was particularly happy to learn recently that Dr. Andy Knight has been awarded a distinguished professorship by the University of Alberta. It is my great pleasure to welcome and to introduce Professor Andy Knight. Professor Knight.
Thank you, Minister. First of all, let me recognize and acknowledge my good friend, the Lieutenant Governor, Her Honor, Honorable Salma Lakhani, and her husband, Dr. Lakhani. It's been nice to see you after such a long time. Recognize the Premier of the province, the Honorable Jason Kenney, and I understand that all the MLAs are present. What an amazing achievement to have our members that represent us present at this occasion. And of course, the community stakeholders who are here tonight. Specifically, I'd like to thank the Solicitor General, the Honorable Casey Madu, and the Minister of Culture, the Honorable Leela Aher. So wonderful to see you here present tonight. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to speak to you during Black History Month. I think we've come a long way from 1926, when the celebrations of the achievements of Black people was reserved for 1 week in February. And that was called Negro History Week in the United States. Now here in Alberta, as with the rest of Canada, we now dedicate the entire month of February to celebrate and honor the accomplishments of Black Canadians, Black Albertans, accomplishments too often overlooked in our society. While I would argue that we ought to be able to acknowledge and celebrate the strides that Black people have made, not just during the shortest month of the year, by the way, but all year round, we are truly thankful that the spotlight is being placed at least 1 month a year on the people that have suffered a history of marginalization and repression. In Canada, we sometimes smugly claim that the overt anti-Black racism witnessed south of the border is not as bad up here in our multicultural and clearly much more tolerant society. But just last Saturday, we were reminded in a not too subtle way that the scourge of racism, hatred, and intolerance is still very much present within our society. Protest marches with tiki torches and other symbols of white nationalism are not simply innocuous acts of peaceful resistance to the government's decision to protect our citizens in this province from the invisible and deadly pandemic, COVID-19. Such marches are to be called up for what they are. They are a reminder that while as a nation and as a province, we've come a long way in advancing equality, mutual respect, and unity, there are still forces among us promoting hatred and division. However, let's not allow the retrogressive actions of a few to dampen our celebration of the progress of our province and our country, and the progress that we've made in advancing our multicultural project. It is heartening to hear, for example, our Premier condemn the voices of bigotry in no uncertain terms. I certainly share with him the position that Albertans believe in the dignity of every human being and have no time for those voices of division, of hate, or the symbols that they represent. We are all God's children, and the oneness of humanity is a spiritual truth abundantly confirmed by science. So let's not get sidetracked by those who promote prejudice and discrimination, especially during Black History Month. Let's focus on the contributions that Black people have made and are making to better our society. So this evening, I want you to remember individuals, one person that was mentioned several times by the Premier, by Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, by Mr. Madu. I want us to remember the late Phil Fraser, who embodied, I think, all that is great about Black History Month in this province. Phil Fraser was a mentor, a friend, a high-achieving Black citizen of this country, Born in Montreal, Phil made Alberta home. He excelled in everything he put his mind to do. As a radio personality, a TV and feature film producer, a TV program director, a columnist, a book author, a teacher. The awards and accolades he received during his time on Earth with us are astonishing and demonstrate to all people, Black, white, Indigenous, that one can overcome societal barriers and achieve what some might think impossible. Phil Fraser organized and chaired the first Alberta Film Festival. He produced award-winning films and founded the Banff International Television Festival. He wrote impactful books like How the Blacks Created Canada, like Alberta's Camelot, Culture and Arts in the Lougheed Years, and the famous book, Running Uphill, The Fast, Short Life of Canadian champion Harry Jerome. For his service to Canada and Alberta, Phil Fraser was awarded the Order of Canada, the Alberta Order of Excellence, the Alberta Centennial Medal, and the list goes on. Phil was truly a pillar of our society. And I want us on this evening of Black History Month celebration to remember folks like Phil Fraser, who did not let systemic racism block their path to success and accomplishment. Let's all strive to model his determination to forge a constructive path to racial justice, equality, inclusiveness, and leveling the playing field. And let's promote unity and diversity, not only in this month of February, but all year round. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Andy Knight. You know, friends and colleagues, Your Honor, and everyone who is on this event tonight, you now know why it was important for Minister Hia and I to have Professor Andy Knight here tonight. And, you know, Professor Andy Knight reminds us once again that there is strength in diversity. And he reminds us that we can overcome all of the barriers that stands in the way. And I so much believe in that. That has been a defining philosophy of mine, that whilst the barriers are real, the obstacles are real, we cannot allow the voices that would want us to fear those obstacles, use them to divide us, to prevent us from building that beloved community that Dr. King talked about. The pursuit of a more perfect union is a work for each and every one of us. Professor Andy Knight, thank you so much for your presence tonight. And thank you for reminding us of the legacy and contributions of Phil Fraser in building this amazing province. We will always remember him. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Garth Prince. Garth is a vocal performer with years of experience in promoting African culture and community building through song, dance, and instrument. Growing up in Namibia, he learned traditional music by rote. He performs concerts and teaches workshops at schools and conferences. Recognized as a role model by the National Black Coalition of Canada and the Black Canadian Awards.
Yes. It's that time of the day. Why don't you do yourself a favor? Get up off your chair. Let's do some dancing. Come on. Tonight is the night. I'm gonna make a wish. Take me far away to a land to a better sunrise. It's in your eyes, yeah. I see a shooting star falling in Africa. Come on, hey. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. I see a shooting star falling in Africa. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. Now you better not stop dancing tonight under the moonlight. Can you hear Mother Nature singing ooh all night? Take me far away to a better day. Ooh, oh my, ooh, I'm wishing on a star tonight. Ooh, hey, I see a shooting star falling in Africa. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. Hey, I see a shooting star falling in Africa. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. Come on, hey, 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 hey. Just, when's the last time you had a good dance? Come on. Yes, it's time to move. Yes, hey. I see a shooting star falling in Africa. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. Yeah. I see a shooting star falling in Africa. I see a shooting star lying in Namibia. Thank you.
Woo! That was amazing. I don't know about you. I was dancing here in my seat. That was incredible, Garth. Thank you so much. And I wanted to say thank you again to Professor Knight for your incredible words this evening. And I just wanted to let you know that for us, Black History Month is our jumping off point. It is simply a moment in time to elevate, to remind us about what our responsibilities are, not just now, but for our lifetime, and what a privilege it is to be able to work with the various communities. And we're so honored to have you all here this evening. So next, I am so excited to introduce this amazing, amazing lady, Dr. Philomena Okeke Ihejirika. I got it. Hello, Dr. Okeke. How are you doing this evening? I'm so happy that you're here. I don't know if you know about Dr. Okeke, but she is a professor of Women and Gender Studies Department at the University of Alberta. You have such amazing expertise, Dr. Okeke, in gender and higher education in Africa and African international migration. And you have to understand that this incredible woman is so involved in community building, organizations, service providers, and public agencies in the province. So Dr. Okeke Ihejirika, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much. I am just so excited. I had to glue myself to the chair because I wanted to jump up and just start dancing. My legs are I need to dance. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for everyone who is here. so honored to be in the company of such distinguished people. I just want to acknowledge our own, Her Honor, Madam Lakoni, and His Honor, Dr. Lakoni. I just want to say, I am so glad to see you here. I want to acknowledge the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of Alberta, Minister Casey Madu. I also want to say thank you to the Minister of Culture, Multiculturalism and Status of Women, Minister here. I want to thank all those in cabinet. I know I can't see every one of you, but I am excited to see every one of you. And then to the audience, it's a huge honor to actually be given to speak here. I think a lot has been said, and I don't want to repeat those who have said before, except to say I acknowledge the indigenous people who made space for us. I acknowledge the struggle and the pain of our Black brothers and sisters, mothers, grandmothers who've gone before, ahead of us. What can I say more? I want to tell people, if they tell you, if they ask you, what's all this about Black History Month in Alberta? What's this buzz I've been hearing over the past 2 years in Alberta? What's making all that noise? Tell them that people of African descent is Canada's second immigrant region. If they ask you again, tell them that Alberta is Canada's third largest immigrant people of Black descent population. If they keep asking, tell them that Alberta has the largest Black population in Western Canada. If they keep asking, tell them that the population of these people have quadrupled in Alberta from 2001 to 2016. If they keep asking you, tell them that they increasingly come as skilled workers, highly educated, more than the average Canadian. If they keep asking, tell them that Alberta has taken heed of the time, of the fact that if other people didn't hear it, this government recognized the fact that from 2015 to 2024 is United Nations decade of the people of African descent. I'm basically saying in a nutshell, we have a lot in Alberta to celebrate Black History Month. We have a vibrant population of Black people to celebrate. A lot has been said about history, but let's also talk about recent legacies. I live to see children in the schools I visit tell me that something I already know. The first of the first Attorney General, I want to say the way they say it from where I come from, but let's just say Minister of Justice, the first Black provincial Canada, and the first in Alberta. It's a legacy because it's not simply something that's going to pass away. It's history made. And perhaps one of the largest history made, I don't know if it's just passed us by, is that today in Alberta, the government of Alberta had the courage to contest, to resist, confront, and eliminate carding, a long-standing weapon disproportionately visited upon people of African descent. People may not have heard it, but as a scholar, I can tell you that the tremors resonated in the United States. They were asking, how did this happen? Because many still do not have the courage to do that. Our battles are not over. I can tell you that as an elder, as a community-based researcher, as a vice president of Africa Center, as a community leader in my own right, we are battling with the justice system. child poverty, de-skilling and unemployment, the income gaps, they are vividly framed in gender inequities in family and communities. But we are not giving up. We are a resilient community. And you know the most important thing now? We have support and we continue to fight. I want to say thank you and to give also honor to whom is due, to recognize the person that has been spoken of, Phil Fraser. These are the likes of people who made a way for us. They didn't give up. So we will not give up. The more we struggle, we will bring them alive and we will not negate what they have done. And we thank every one of you who are joining us in building these diverse communities. Thank you very much. My heart is filled with joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okeke, and you fill my heart with joy. It is always such a pleasure to hear you speak, and you've done so much for the communities and educating people like myself to understand how it is that we can help to fill those gaps. And I just always feel so privileged to be in your space. So thank you so much for your beautiful talk. Our next performer, the incredible Nuala Charles. Now, this is another voice that will just blow you away. She's actually become a very familiar face in the Edmonton music scene, and her career has taken off right across Canada and around the world. And this soulful voice is powered with incredible lyrics, and she's really starting to redefine her unique blend of R&B, soul, jazz, and hip hop. Take it away, Nuala.
This one's called Do It Right. This is the last song. My name is Nuala Charles, and if you like snapping along, this one's for you. Here we go. You got me going, got me glowing, hoping you're devoted. Ooh, ooh. I get this feeling you've been scheming, stealing, and I'm dreaming. Ooh. Another day, another dollar, and you only wanna holler when I'm gone. Yeah, you only wanna holler when I'm gone. Shoot to thrill, cold as ice. If you're gonna do it, better do it right. Don't play fair, don't play nice. If you're gonna do it, better do it right. If you're gonna do it, you better do it right. And I get this feeling you've been scheming, stealing, am I dreaming? Ooh, ooh. Lost in the magic, you're a habit, or so problematic. Ooh, ooh. Another day, another dollar, and you only wanna holler when I'm gone. Naturally, right? Yeah, you only wanna holler when I'm gone. Shoot the thrill, cold as ice. If you're gonna do it, better do it right. Don't play fair, don't play nice. If you're gonna do it, better do it right. Said if you're gonna do it, better do it right. Do you want a piece? Do you want a piece of me? I got a quick job, baby, so you better aim carefully. Said, do you want a piece? Do you want a piece of me? I've got a quick job, baby, so you better aim carefully. Oh, shoot the thrill, cold as ice. If you're gonna do it, better do it right. Don't play fair, don't play nice. If you're
so much for watching, guys. Have a good one. My name is Noelle Charles.
Wow, thank you so much, Noella. And that was a very powerful performance. And I do want to thank you. And to all of our amazing performers and speakers tonight, thank you. From all of us here at the provincial government, we just simply want to thank you and to let you know how proud that we are of all of you. Friends, as a member of the legislature and the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General, fighting systemic racism has been central to my mission since day one of my being named a Minister of the Crown. After all, if we fail to treat every Albertan equally before the law, we are betraying the central principle of our democratic tenet. The promise of Alberta is that it does not matter who you are, where you come from, or the sound of your mother tongue, but that this province's opportunities is yours to embrace, to reach, and to keep. As we have heard tonight, there is a need to educate ourselves and learn from our history. The history of Black Albertans goes back much further than most people realize and spans a broad diversity of experiences. It includes the accomplishment of people whose family has been in this province for generations, or who immigrated here recently, as well as stories of people with heritage that stretches back to Africa, the Caribbean, and the United States. Sharing these stories helps us all learn about different perspectives and different experiences. As our province becomes more and more diverse, we get to experience wonderful cultural traditions from all over the world, such as the performances and speakers we've had tonight. All of this strengthens us as a people, as a society, as a community. I am grateful to live in this rich, multicultural province. And I am honored to work alongside each of you as we foster a vibrant, inclusive, prosperous Alberta. Once again, thank you everyone for celebrating with us tonight. And my special thank you to staff in the Ministry of Culture, Multiculturalism, and the Status of Women for putting together series of events this past month. Minister here, thank you so much for your tremendous leadership and friendship. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Minister Madhu. And it has been my incredible privilege to work on so many projects with you this month. It's very humbling and overwhelming, actually, to know where we started at the beginning of this month and where we ended up. And we could never have done this without you, your leadership, your wisdom, and your kindness in helping guide us through this time. So I'm eternally grateful to you. I would like to take a moment, just as we close up, to thank some people. From the Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much, Your Honor. And Dr. Lakhani, thank you so much to both of you. Your beautiful presence here means so much to all of us. To our Premier, who is every day making sure that we are paving the way so that all Albertans can live with their best lives and livelihoods here in this province. Minister Madhu, such a privilege. And to all of my colleagues, every MLA and minister that attended tonight with such love for this beautiful community. Thank you so much for coming out. To Nikita Kalonji, to Dr. Knight, Dr. Okeke, Shalise Simpson, Noella Charles, Garth Prince, Karima, the Sangay Academy, and Jumoke Verizimo. Thank you so much. And I would finally like the staff of Culture and Multiculturalism to please come on so we can see beautiful faces as I thank you. This is the incredible team that has worked every single day of this month to put together one of the most robust Black History Months that I've ever seen. Can we give them a round of applause online? And I will go through their names. My press secretary, Amanda LeBlanc, my Neelam Jetta, who is from the Ministry of Culture, Multicultural and Status of Women, Julianne Mercer, Karen Johnsrud, Candace Bright, Rick Walters. Can you wave, Rick? Rick is sort of the visionary behind this, him and Shafana. Shafana, can you wave, please? If you're wondering why we had such great sound and organization, this is because of Maurice Brunel. Thank you, Maurice, for making us all sound so wonderful. I also want to thank our Deputy Minister, Laura Pilpau, Marina Bryan, Ala Honcharik. Did I say that right, Ala? And then, of course, Shafana Mitta, Lois Nickerson, Malader Tenyang, who is in my office as well, too, and Rasheen McCabe. Thank you to all of you for the incredible work that you have done in this month and made us so proud. And I just want to give you a round of applause and send you all my love. Please have a blessed night. Please take care of each other. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Many blessings.